Now I would like to say good morning to Bernard, good morning to Nikolai, and Spain. We are very happy that we can organize the board meeting for 14th of January 2023. Firstly, I will say about the report of CAO in 2000, and for the next we will move to the our agenda for talking today.
Can I just a quick question for expectations? I saw two agendas. I saw the agenda of this document here, and I saw the points that Bernard had put into the email. I was a bit confused what we're talking about today, and needed to highlight I only have about an hour and a half from my side. I have another commitment at 11. Sorry, I would have had more time in the afternoon, but then we changed the time. So just wanted to mention that and we don't have to put the agenda around me. I just wanted to mention that. Yeah.
Okay, Jeng. We move to the agenda, yeah. So I will stop for the report.
Mine also help about 1 hour only. I'm now on the way to come. It would be good to talk what we Bernard mentioned first, and then we can report that.
So we should start with the agenda first and talk about the issues, and then if we have time, we can present the report to everyone.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Everyone slide. So now I would like to talk about for today. We have three proposed by Bernard. Four. One, we talk about the budget spending on our too high. So I would like to invite Bernard to and about your proposing. Yes.
Well, many funders will say, overheads should be not more than 10% or 20%, etc. So we need to be careful about these figures. For myself, there is no fixed percentage which would say this is a good budget or a bad budget. What I told you and told to Kosal, okay, if you spend, say, 80% on staff and other office expenses, you need to be able to justify. You need to explain this to the funders and partners. This is why do you spend 82% on your team, okay? You may have heard of some NGOs, like one is called Direct Giving. They spend almost nothing on staff and office. They don't provide any training. They don't make any survey. They just give money free, without any question, without any condition to poor people. Just say, okay, every month we will give you $50, full stop. And so they claim that they have a good impact. So we have to keep this in mind. I'm not saying, that they are better than CAO. I don't say that CAO should reduce its salary budget, but what I really believe is that we need to think about why we spend it and how we can justify, how we can explain and convince our funders about this. For example, if you don't, instead of giving bicycles subsidized, well, it's, you could say, well, we will give give $100 bikes and no need for local participation. Then automatically your percentage of salaries will be reduced. then maybe the impact of the program will be less, right? The more local participation you ask from the community, the higher percentage you have for salaries, because you need to spend a lot of time on meetings, training, convincing, follow-up, etc. If you just give the money away without any discussion, then your percentage will come down. But the impact, the quality of your work will come down as well. So I want us to be very clear on this and think, how we can explain this as well as possible. Yeah, that's all I want to say.
Bernard, the example you gave with the bicycles, is there ways of just as a first step the budget in a different way? I agree with what you said about the external perception about the percentage. 8 to 10%, I think, is something that lots of donors want. I also don't want to judge about what is the best effect out there, so because many donors in the future will look at that, immediately put you on the side and say, sorry, not interested. So question to Bernard was from the bicycle example. Can we represent some of these contributions by the beneficiary as part of the overall project budget? So that basically, like you said, of salaries, for example, would go down, as an example for the bicycles?
Yeah,
Okay,
okay, Matt, go ahead.
Yes, you can go ahead, and Bongosal, you can explain.
Well, I mean, the bicycles is one example, but we could take the credit program, for example. Okay, so you provide a loan for $100, but actually the investment of the farmer, etc., is much bigger, right? It's more than our contribution. Plus, you provide, coaching, etc., and therefore, the percentage of salary should come down. Just the way you present it, right? Biogas, to give another example, close to Nikolai. Okay, we give how much is that? $70, $75 subsidy, right? Okay,
95.
Okay, 75. So you could say, well, actually, the biogas is value is not 75. The value is maybe 450 or 500. So if you include the 500 into the budget, but there is local contribution of 425. So the percentage of salary comes down. Different ways to present it.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a good angle. And on budget in general, I find it very difficult to comment much because I don't really have access. So could we share that budget?
Of course.
Yeah, that would be great. I can take some time and look into it and give some more input and some thoughts on it. Yeah.
Sure. Actually, all board members should have the budget.
Yeah. Can you share this budget to the board members, because I'm outside, so I did not bring my computer along.
No, not now, Kosal, but after the meeting, so that everybody can study, because it takes a bit of time to go. And when you share the budget, I think you should share budget for 2023, 2022, and expenses in 2022, so that we have a way to compare. Okay, good. I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mitt, you want to add anything for this topic?
Yes, I want to Bongosal to add some.
Yeah, I just said something a little bit more. Like we agree that today the overhead budget for CAO is too much. Yeah, and but I want to explain that if like we want you to think about the benefit of the profit from what we have applied with the community. For example, Bernard he explained about the buy program, and also we have the big successful and big profit from another one program is the credit. I mean about the credit program. So I just like 2022 we have provided too much loan to the so many in estimate it's nearly 200 that can benefit from credit program. So in every loan calculate the profit rate. So I believe that if we compare to the profit rate to the farmer for the salary and profit to the community is a lot.
Yeah. Kosal, one thing.
Yeah.
I don't say overhead because overhead means any expenses which are not directly impacting the community work. Okay, so I think, for example, you Kosal, I think you are not part of overhead, or maybe 10 or 20%, because you spend a lot of time in the community, in the village. Same for Karika. Okay, so these are not overhead, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So, when we talk about salaries, we should more mention about training, coaching, follow-up, that sort of thing. I mean, the word of overhead is very dangerous.
Okay.
And Kosal, thank you for summarizing and also microfinance part of it. Or the savings, the farmers you reach. I think Bernard's comment here is not necessarily, oh, you're spending too much, you need to reduce your salaries. That's not the direct conclusion I understand. It's primarily about, as a first thing, the budget differently, that all the good work that you're doing is visible and the percentages at which, for example, are not confusing. I think I've seen in the report briefly that loans giving out are jumping up, I think doubling or tripling even. So that looks like good work, but it's not to see with high percentages on salaries and overhead. So I think if we look not at this meeting, but afterwards into the budget, and if we can represent it in a different way, that might be helpful.
What we need to look at is whether the pay scale at CAO is reasonable or not. Okay, this is one factor. The other factor is funding. If you don't have enough funding, which is the case now for 2023, we have about 8% of the budget which is funded. Okay, so 92% of the budget for CAO has to come from the common funding from Mekong Plus, which is not good. It's not a good picture. So you have to take the two into consideration, because now if you say, well, the staff, we are doing very good work, etc. But Saret could say, well, I could give not 150 bicycles, but my capacity as staff is to give 300, but we don't have the money. So, there is always this balance that we need to say, okay, fine. So if we increase the salaries to make it more competitive, to keep the staff happy, so then we have to provide less credit or less bicycles. So then we have a problem. I mean, we face the same problem today in Vietnam. We have a big funding issue, like Nikolai, you just mentioned, because of the war, because of the economic crisis. For the first time in many years, we have a big funding problem. We don't know where we get the money from. Okay. So maybe Kosal, you should share the pay scale with the board members as well, so that they could comment on, whether the salaries in CAO are okay compared to local NGOs, to compare to small international NGOs, etc., to make, not compared to the UN, to the government, but to compare to organizations which are, similar. When I was in Rumdul, I think you said we are higher than local NGOs in Zwaring, but we are lower than other international NGOs. Okay, so we are about in the middle. But I think the board members have a better information than me to comment on salaries.
So, Bernard, may I have some idea?
Yeah.
And thank you for explanation. Bernard mentioned about this topic, but salary, my opinion, it's difficult to reduce. We had already, but question is that this salary include the inflation or not yet, and I think the best is to find more budgets to fit it. What CAO will expand it. Bernard mentioned that about 90% is come from plus not good. It's not good figure of CAO. So CAO have to survive by finding more budget to fit that expense. So this I think fine to write proposal to get the money for a donor. Thank you.
Yeah, that is right, also Thank you also for your comment. And in the last 2 months ago, before the year end of 2022, he has get a new responsible for fundraising. He have learned, he have started and submit to a few funder, but like we had a meeting in previous time, so we proposed for the new staff for fundraising, but because I cannot, so right now we have met. Is happy to learn and happy to responsibility, and then and also he had done few proposal as well, but one or two we are waiting for the result, and we looking for another funding opportunity, and then even me, and we have a consistency, and also Nikolai have any new about funding still there. Maybe we still lack of information about funding, so that we cannot got some announcement or
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Prasad.
So yeah, like last week, we got an email confirmation from Resilient Fund that it said that they are reviewing. So we did not know the result yet, but and we still hope that we can pass the next. But although at the time together, but and even me have with CCC to get to get any new opportunity that we can apply, and also about the agenda number 2. We have learned from we have that innovation about new program that we want to develop and have activities. So we have contact another program at finding another province to visit and learn. And we have seen and search more on Facebook and the other to get any idea. Like last time, we think that the program is about a library, so maybe can develop and innovate in another process that we may can write a proposal next time if we can get another new about the scholarship or about the school program.
Yes, thank you, Kosal. For this, I think maybe Nikolai, I sent you an email about 10 days ago or
Yeah,
so.
I see your email.
Yes, asking, how we could know where and when there are possibilities for funding. Because me in Vietnam, I find it a bit difficult. I don't know I don't have this information, so that we at least make sure that we don't miss any opportunity. For the resilience fund that you just mentioned, Kosal. We got $50,000 for the Long My project in Vietnam from that fund. So it's I hope you will get it also.
That's good news. Yeah.
So we are touching the point about how much innovation is coming from CAO and the skills. If we say, okay, we are doing fine, we have done about the same as last year. I mean, this is not enough. If you buy a smartphone, you don't want to buy your iPhone 4, right? You want to have the latest model. And CAO has to be constantly on the top, to constantly coming with new ideas. And for this, I think the one good way is to visit many other NGOs and compare, who is doing what. And maybe, we are better in many aspects, but maybe we can learn some from other organizations. So visit many projects. I mean, this is very, very important, so that nobody can say, CAO is doing this, but we know so many other NGOs who are doing much better.
Yeah. This is here on the process, and we have planned to have another NGO more. Even some they have no response, and some we have visit them already. But we will do more.
Kosal, I want to comment on that point quickly. Innovation and meeting other NGOs. I can talk about that a little bit more afterwards. How to find sources and so on. Bernard's email and beyond that. I really think Kosal, visiting other NGOs is great. You can see what they do, learn from that. It can get you on other ideas.
Correct.
But I think you also need
again.
Yeah.
You mentioned about. Sorry, because here is so noisy. I cannot be.
Okay. Is it here where it's noisy, or is it on your side?
From
okay. Yeah. So I was saying visiting other NGOs is good. You can see sometimes it's maybe not, you don't want to copy, but it gets you on good new ideas. Yeah. You say we cannot do, but we can do it differently. So that's really good, I think. But I think don't on visits, don't sit in your office and wait for the next visit. You need to also think very how you can make yourself interesting and innovative. And here it helps also to think a bit about what the donors want. That's not great, because we want to work, we want to do what we really think is good, but it's important to know what are interested in and what they give money for. Sometimes we say, sorry, we don't fit. And sometimes squeeze, we can put our work into what they want. Yeah, I think that's very important. We had the discussion with previous fund raises for example, SMART or for other programs. They're always keen on something, for example, with technology or with mobile phones or with distant learning or something. It's important to sit down, I think, and define and brainstorm in a team. You can respond to these needs from the donor side, I think.
Yeah. Thank you, Nikolai. That we will.
And we can, Kosal, we can find these answers when we write a proposal. Write the proposal very smartly, but it also needs to be part of, I think, your team discussion. What can we do more innovatively? What can we do differently as an organization? I'm thinking of CAO banks and saving groups, for example. Yeah, you're doing very good work there. It's not
Yeah.
a very innovative tool as such. It's been around for many, yeah. So many donors will say, "Oh, I know that's a little bit boring. Yeah, I want to give something else." Then the answer is not to stop doing it, but we need to maybe sell it in the, yeah. We need to find the words that the donors like. I think the donors are interested in making people independent and money management skills and helping them set up small business. That's still very hot, I feel, but maybe I'm wrong on the donor side. So it's good words for what we do very well. Yeah, that's my view on this.
Yeah.
If you want, I can comment quickly on. I feel it was agenda point 3 on this, but I'm not sure. It's maybe on the next page anyway, about access to funding and sources. And then I was explaining that he is not in the country. It's difficult to see. My view is, Bernard, that there are of course resources in the country. There's not a large landscape of lots of funding, so it's very difficult to find funding also in directly. It's worth pursuing it, but it's quite limited. And I think there are a couple of email newsletters we can think of. There are a couple maybe Facebook pages we can look at on a regular basis. And there may be a handful or even of players who actually have money. Yeah, I shared with you guys US8 at one point. Guys have money, they're spending it in the country and they're distributing it in the country, and they're very agriculture focused. So I would do everything. I'll try to help you guys if I see anything from US8, but you need to follow their Facebook page, yeah, because they will put funding requests out there. Actively try to get a meeting with them and so on. So I think that would be really good.
So can you share their link? Okay.
But you can find the Facebook page of US8. I don't need to do that. Yeah. You can just do that work, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm happy to do, but I don't want to do it because you guys need to own that. Yeah, you need to do. Yeah.
Okay, we will find it. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Kosal, you spent some time in Phnom Penh, so I think there are also meeting of the CCC, right? Me, my experience is, although I have been in the country for many years in Vietnam, each meeting with other NGOs, I learn a little bit. So I think it's worth, to try to go to these meetings and talk, and you will gather some information. Actually, our biggest funder by far in Vietnam, I just met in one of those meetings. I think, I'm the oldest one in the meeting, but actually I still learn every time I learn a little bit. So I encourage you very much. I don't know, besides CCC, there are other forums which are worth attending. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I don't know if we want to talk about this further. One other topic which is also connected to sustainability was how we can make the board of CAO, stronger and more impactful. I don't know. I mean, this is a question. I think Mit has spent a lot of time trying to find a meeting moment for the board. And still we are meeting online, not, all together in Nikolai's room as proposed. So what could we do? Any idea? What are the limitations? What are the problems for, Bun Hom or Sok Hen? I think Bun Hom and Sok Hen, you have a huge experience. So how can we make these meetings effective?
Okay,បងសុខេងមានយប់បងមិនហងលោកសុខេងបងមិនហង
Yeah.
hello, but I think let Bong Hong say something on this. I think it would be good. But they would like to know and the voice from him as
បាទវាសួរបងមិនហងមានយោបល់អីទេបង
Good morning, Dagna and Nicola and all member of CAO. Right now may be difficult because meeting in person may be difficult because I'm not regular in Phnom Penh. Sometimes in Ratanakiri, Amdokiri. I think to make the board meeting effective, you should share. For example, you wish to discuss budget or financial, can share to the board first, and especially annual budget, for example, for 2022, or you plan to get another fund 2023, you should share cost before the meeting, and both have a look and give some comment before the and one more, maybe I'm not for longer for the board of CAO. You should plan to recruit another board who has more experience and share more input to the CAO in the future. Thank you.
អរគុណបងអរគុណច្រើនបងចឹងតែបងមានយោបល់អី
let me say something and additional to what I think another way to or to make our board to be strong. I think prioritize the problem that we face it, and then small discussion among our board member. For example, like now we are facing with and we have to find more fund from any donor or explore any available donor call proposal, and then we can talk, we can discuss in that topic separate. So for this meeting, for example, like many topic, and sometimes we cannot up to that issues. So this is the idea to edit and about budget, about financial issues, and find available time, and if we can meet, so easy to talk and easy to share anything then. But online we also need it. Sometimes we also have a network and all our call work as well. So I accept that the challenge to organize the meeting between among us. This problem sometimes difficult for me to organize, to arrange a meeting, so delay to another time. Yeah. But thank you. So for example, like Nikolai, and I found that my previous email I missed that Nikolai with me in person as well, and but I don't have time, and some later on that email, and during the holiday, and but not to be here, and not also like to meet me as well, not find my time to meet him. So that is we have individual challenge time as well. Yeah. Thank you.
And can we say, can we plan for the next meeting well ahead of time? And okay, we try to all meet maybe in Phnom Penh. Ideal would be to meet in Rumdul and spend a day in Rumdul to visit the project, but maybe it is more difficult. But you know, it would be much better. You know, myself, I'm a bit concerned, you know, because the Rumdul team has been working. My feeling is that very well. No issues, no management problem, no. Okay, but you know, I'm just an outsider. I have very limited experience in Cambodia. What I see in Vietnam is that it is very essential to have a rotation between managers, that you know they visit the other projects to have another look, and then we have a very interesting meeting, because it's not just based on the report by Mit or Kosal, but it's because they have seen some issues in this or that project. Okay, so I myself, you know, it's like an audit. You know, you need an external observer to have a more accurate picture. And I was quite afraid during COVID time that, you know, Mekong Plus was just sending money to Rumdul and without, you know, any external feedback. So I'm less worried now after having visited Rumdul a few times. But I would be extremely happy if Bun Hong, Sokhen, you know, Nikolai, you could spend a day or 2 days in Rumdul. It would be make us all much more confident. I remember in the past we visited Bun Hom's program, and I think I still remember some very positive experiences at that time. So it's, you know, as an NGO, we must be very professional. We are working with donations, with other people's money. We cannot say, well, it's good enough. It's never good enough. It has to be excellent, you know, to be coherent. Yeah.
Yes, Bernard, I support the idea, and it's good for us to meet person, and we find a time to be together and explore the existing program, and we can see the priority time for what we should sharp and work on and find the fund for that.
I can maybe add to that. I think also, first of all, meeting in person is good. Spending some time in Rumdul would also be. It's a bit for me personally. It's probably similar to what Bun Hong or Soheng was saying. Challenging to plan long ahead. I think we should plan the next meeting already and plan that in person. I share my time between Siem Reap and Phnom Penh, but it's not on a regular basis. It's changed sort of 2 or 3 weeks ahead. So it's good to have that board meeting then in Phnom Penh on the radar, and I can try to make it, but it's never certain, you know, and it's a little bit difficult. My commitment is there to call in, and ideally we can also meet. Yeah. I wanted to add on the second or on points that were made. I think we need to prepare these meetings a little bit better, as in getting the board members also. I think like Bun Hong was mentioning, maybe it was Soheng, making clear that we have documentation available before, that we know what we're going to talk, that we can review documents before. I don't feel well informed what CAO is doing. Yeah, I don't have a budget. I see. I got this that's in this doc or in the other document. I think maybe a day or 2 days before. That's good, but don't really know what's happening and what's going on. So I can't support. I don't know what the funding gap is. If I talk to someone tomorrow who might have some money and who might fit to CAO, I don't know how much money. I have no idea. And I think we need a bit more transparency on these things.
Okay.
I'm mentioning the fundraising topic again because I think it's so important. You guys know your daily work, and I think you do it very well. But it's the fundraising and external connection help from the board, I think, or where we can support you. But in order to do that, we need a
thank you, Nikolai. That is maybe this we miss. Yeah, we will note and we will try to improve for next. Yeah.
Okay, so Bong Bun Hong, thank you, Bong. Okay, and Nikolai that provided the good ideas. We will prepare all this document for the next meeting. I'm sorry that we don't know before to how to be better on the organize for the meeting. Okay, Bernard, do you have any topic to talk?
You're mute, Bernard. Can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Maybe we should decide about the next meeting before Sok-Hen leaves us. Do we want to decide about a date? When do we want to meet? For me, starting April, I will not be available in April, May, till the end of May. So these 2 months, I will not be here. Well, I can still meet online. I will be in Europe, but busy in Vietnam and then in Europe. So if we want to meet in Phnom Penh, that's fine for me till the end of March.
And I think that's in line. We try to get this get together every 2 months. So if we do something in maybe early March, but
Yes, it would be good if in March and we can fix it, but not can.
Okay, so who is free in early March?
I'm okay early March. Yes.
I'm okay if it's on the weekends, like on a Saturday, like now. That's March the 4th, March the 11th. I can plan that in my agenda now, and then it's no problem.
Okay, so do we say 4th of March?
Fine for me.
Okay.
Bun Hong?
I can say yes.
Okay, what is the best time? Morning, afternoon?
Afternoon.
So 2 p.m.?
Yeah, 2 p.m.
Sok-Hen, is it okay?
Sounds
Nikolai, Bun Hong?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So booked. We'll meet hopefully all together in Phnom Penh.
Okay, thank you.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, now if this point is finished, so I would like to move to number 4. So, you explain about the audit for 2022.
Yeah, we start audit in early of February, and hopefully we can finish in March, and then we can get the report.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
So sorry, I'd like to jump back to topic 3, I think, or 2 or 3. I don't know. I think we haven't fully addressed it yet. And to me, this is the most crucial topic that we as a board have to discuss, budget and how we can support. We're not able to go into the details and I'd like to discuss how we can support you better. I feel from a distance that there needs to be a little bit more guidance and a little bit more structure in the fundraising. About 20 minutes ago, I mentioned US aid. You said, okay, I don't know the action that is there, you know? So I'm wondering if we could have, if we could have some maybe more frequent follow-up than every 2 months. I'm happy to jump on a call every 2 weeks with a, it could be like a committee. That sounds big, but it's just, I don't know if Bernard has time, he joins.
Sure.
Anybody from the board, we organize a call and we just where we are. I think it's helpful, Kosal and Mit, if we have a very structure, a sort of action list where we write down all the contacts we have and we write down dates, contact who by when. Then you can give me actions, Nikolai, talk to US aid and so on. Yeah.
Right. Good point.
I think that is necessary. Yeah. I'm happy to have that a little bit structurally. We do these kind of things a lot in my job every day. So I can help here. Yeah.
Yeah. Same in Mekong Plus. Okay, good. So when is the meeting? When would that be? Again on a Saturday, Nikolai? Yeah,
for me to be honest, the best. So Saturdays are the best actually. So if we can jump on a call next week, for example, because we need to address this of the year next Saturday, that would be fantastic. It can also be during like 5 o'clock also for me, so I don't know if that's convenient for everyone.
I'm fine. Anytime Saturday 21st, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kasonic for you?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yes, I'm okay.
But if we want to meet you in personal to talk about emergency case or what happening you about the problem with CAO, can we invite you or in personal or also Bong Bun Hong? Because Bernard is far. It's not like not planned meeting. Can we organize it with you?
Yeah, we can do that too. I mean, we could meet next Saturday in person if you want, and if Bernard wants to join on the funding topic, we can do that too. I would specifically focus on that's why I called it something like a funding committee. That sounds very administrative, but what I mean is we have a working group that focuses on funding, and we don't talk about anything else. We just say, okay, today we need money. What are we going to do to get money? Yeah. So that's what I would like to do on the 21st, on a call or in a meeting, both are fine. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so Ken, you wanted to say something? No? Okay. Well, what time? 5 p.m.?
Saturdays I'm available. I'm more flexible. Can be earlier. Up to you. Who wants to meet? Who wants to meet to talk about funding? It's definitely Kosal and Mit, right?
Yeah.
I've offered myself. But now
you're
joining as well. Yeah,
I will be there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 p.m.
Kosal, does that work for you? 5 or what's good for you to meet in person? I would then try to meet you in person.
Maybe if the call meeting is not because I'm worried. My understanding from the meeting by calling, like if I not get much benefit, maybe I can help you for personal meeting again.
So how about we organize a personal meeting? We can do this at my office where we have a nice camera and have Bernard join, and the audio connection I think should be good. So let's meet at our at the ATEC office if you like.
Okay.
And then yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering maybe a little bit earlier would actually be better for me. Can we do something like 3 o'clock, or is it disruptive in the middle of the day?
Okay.
Next Saturday, 3 o'clock?
Yes. It's not problem for 3
Does it
o'clock.
work, Bernard?
And how
You're
about
on
much?
mute.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay
What
for
time?
you.
Okay.
What
3
time?
p.m.
3
p.m. next
Okay.
Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, good.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Because I'll send everyone details. So Mit, if you can also come and join us in person, I'll send you the invitation, the details of where our office is, and I'll organize a Zoom link and together a
Okay.
little
Wonderful.
action list of things for us to discuss. Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so now I would like to move for the next for the topic about the biogas. So the last topic we talked, the last meeting we talked how we cooperate between the CAO and ATEC as a biogas program. So now I would like to invite Bongosa to explain.
Nikolai, currently you may know about us. We have cooperated with the agriculture department about biogas program, but it's just from right now they have a new system is from plastic as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we want also to cooperate with the ethic as well. We didn't know in more detail how we can where we can this cooperation together.
And one thing is we have to draw a clear line between ATEC and the NBP, the National Biodiversity Program. Us who is drawing the line, it's them who are drawing the lines. They are not supporting ATEC biodigestis. Yeah, so if you work with us and them, that's not going to work because there are forward. It's a long story, or there's not much of a story. It might be political. We don't really know, but they refuse. Farmers who want to buy our biodigester. It's very because we think it's not fair. You know, we're the national biodigester for farmers to have access to the best solution, whatever they want, but here they can't. That's how it is, and I don't think we're going to change that from our side. So if you're looking in working together with ATEC anyway, I think it would be finding other funders. We don't have a funding program where we can give biodigesters out for free to your beneficiaries. We can only do that if you can find the funding to buy these biodigesters. For me, that would be find a call for proposal where that fits in. Then we can consider partnering for that call for proposal. There's not much action for me in this to be to look and wait for that opportunity. I don't think there is much activity we can do or just in mind.
Okay, if I understand well, if the farmers choose the ATEC option, they will have to pay 100% minus the subsidy from CAO, which is quite limited, right? While if they buy from the local supplier, what is it, NDP or something, they get the subsidy from there, right, Kosan?
Yeah.
Okay, so how can we?
And I also heard that the from the national program cheaper than from ATEC, right, Nikolai?
The biogas You mean the biogas? Or you mean the solution, right? Yeah, the solution is cheaper because it's different materials. I don't know the plastic solution you mentioned that they are testing now. They're these round, more shaped cubes, while ours is more like a dome, like a bigger thing. I don't know the price for this one. Our biodigesters are the cash price for the biodigester is able to pay cash right away, which normally they are not, is $700. That's a lot of money. Yeah, and these cannot be subsidized from the National Biodigester Program. Yeah. Because this is such a big amount, we offer it as a pay-go option. Don't know if you remember this. It's $29 a month. The farmers are paying, so they are not paying anything at the beginning. They're only paying as they save, as they pay as you go, pay as you save. They save money on fertilizer. While they do this, they pay the unit back to us after a certain number of months. They then own this unit. Then they continue using, benefiting from the savings, but they no longer have to pay it off. That's our model. It's maybe something worth considering if that's suitable for your farmer. Pay $29-30 a month. It's still enough. It's still a lot of money. It's related to the savings they have. Yeah, so they have lower expenses in fertilizer. They usually still use fertilizer, but they reduce their fertilizer expenses and their cooking fuel expenses. So it should add up, but you know your beneficiaries better and you know what they can afford. You don't need to fundraise big amounts to get this started. You know, if one of your farmers have a ATEC biodigester next week, we'll bring the biodigester, and then they need to start paying it off. So they don't need to do any big investments. That's the positive part of this pay-go model.
But today, the biodigester program inspiring from year to year, the number of farmers to install biogas is less from time to time. That means every year they cannot reach. So even the agriculture officer, they also try to announce, they try to promote from time to time. But for example, like this year, CAO and Department of Agriculture inquiry, we cannot complete their plan.
Yeah.
Complete our plan. This is one thing that also about the sector in Guardian, they worried about this.
I mean, something to consider would perhaps be that you talk to them and say, would we be able to include the ATEC biodigester, and maybe that can help to put some pressure on them that they consider supporting our biodigester. Know if that's the solution to it. I mean, why are they and you struggling to grow? Because the farmers don't want it. I guess that's what it sounds like, right? Or keeping you from reaching your targets. I know that they are struggling to roll out their solution. I think we installed digesters than they did last year. We installed about 500 biodigesters across Cambodia. Don't know that somebody from SNB told me it was less than what we did. So what's holding them to install more? Because maybe it's a different problem. It's not our biodigester or theirs. It's that the farmers, they don't think it's the right solution.
And I heard from us that in the big one, biogas that installed from ATEC, right?
So what's holding you back to reach your targets with the what's the problem? What's holding you back? No money or no interest from the, what's the limitation?
What we have meet and talk they look interested in, but the problem is at the first time, they need to have $300 or more, plus from NDP and plus from CEO need $300 more to build one biogas at the first.
So it's the financial part at the beginning. I mean, that's the ATEC biodigest and our PAYGO system would really help, yeah, because you don't need the $300 for a biodigester. The downside is with a biodigester from ATEC, because more modern solution, it's different materials. It comes with a stove. I don't know if that's included in the NDP. It probably is. So the overall number is higher. Yeah. So it's easier to access or have one. It's easier to start, but it takes longer time to pay it off. And so that's sort of the downside. Yeah. The solution is more expensive. But if you have a regular income and if you can support the $29 a month, then a better solution for you to have a solid biodigester. Don't know, Bernard, do you have any views on it? I think you've been in the whole area a lot longer than me. You the ups and downs on the biodigester a lot better. Curious to hear if you. I definitely don't want to push our biodigesters on you. It might be the wrong solution. You know, if it's thing, then let's not worry too much about a collaboration.
Okay, I'm not very familiar with the problem in Zwaring, in Rumdul. What I understand from COSAL is that the people don't have the $300 cash to order the system, right? And that the subsidy from CAO, $75, is not enough. Is that correct, COSAL? Yeah?
Fine. Yeah.
Okay. So my feeling is that, you know, if we had a lot of money, then we would expand the credit program to give these people, you know, a loan for $300. But we are short of funding, and these are not the very poor people, right? People who buy a biogas, they are not among the poor. So, you know, for me, it's a low priority. And if ATEC can provide this funding solution, great. What is the collateral required from the farmers?
There's no collateral. That's part of the whole interesting deal. The collateral. Yeah. So if the farmer is struggling to pay off on a monthly basis, what we can do, we can restructure. We can say temporarily they can sell it. They can buy. Sorry, they can pay a little. But if they default, if they say I can no longer pay it, or I need to sell my animals, then the collateral is a unit. So we then take the unit back and we sell it as a B grade, you know, as a used. Okay. We can still cover our costs somehow by it. The downside for the user is the money they have paid, we can't get them. You know, we are pre-financing this. We have costs for this. We have costs for installation and deinstallation. That's also important to mention. You know, it's a good solution for very stable households where people say, I'm doing farming. I'm staying on that for the next years. Definitely, I keep my animals and I have access to cow or pig manure. You need cows or 5 to 6 pigs. That's the amount of animals you need to load it on a regular basis. It's in a place where, for example, they say we're going to Phnom Penh now for 6 months to work and somewhere in a hotel, and then we come back to Zwaring or wherever we are, and that's not going to work for them. It's for sort of very regular, boring farming environments. You know, this solution works.
COSAL, why are the farmers not interested in borrowing, taking a loan from the bank, or what? If they need $300, maybe they cannot get it from CAO, but maybe they can borrow it from some other source. And try to understand the financial issue.
CAO, the credit program we mentioned for the people that they have a lower income.
Yeah. So it's not
like
CAO.
Before we said that maybe, yeah, not our target
Okay, what about Akleda?
beneficiary for credit program.
What about the loan from
And they
Akleda?
can get from Prasa because
Okay,
they can, but not Akleda, but from Prasa.
okay,
$300 is small amount on loan, so
yeah.
you can get from Prasa, but
So
but
why not?
maybe the farmer they don't want to. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe their motivation is not very high. Maybe they have
Yeah,
other
maybe
priorities.
some-
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe like that.
Or maybe they have enough loans already. Maybe they're struggling
Okay.
to get another
Maybe.
loan. That's possible.
Yeah.
No? I mean,
Yeah.
I would challenge that it's only so that it's not poor people who want to buy the just. I don't know. It should be, yes, they have animal, poorest of the poorest, but yeah.
Well, what I say this because to run a biogas, you need to have animals on a regular basis, right? And if the prices for pigs or whatever is coming very low, you cannot feed your animal. So the biogas will not function, right? Well, maybe I mean in Vietnam it's difficult because we use plastic tubes, and you need pigs, right? We don't have cows. So with pigs, if the pig meat varies a lot in price. So if for 3-4 months the pig meat price is down, people stop feeding the pigs, and then the biogas system will break. So I don't know how long can your system, Nikolai, function without being fed with stool from pigs or from cows. How long can it sustain? Will it break or will it continue?
Not long. It doesn't break from it, but you need to. It's an anaerobic environment that needs to be filled on a regular basis. So we tell our farmers every day, and in reality, it's you can do every 2 days, maybe every 3 days, but not longer than that. If you stop longer, breaks or there's not a problem. But then when you want to restart it again, you need several days of reloading it before.
So then I don't know the situation in Rumdul, whether you can collect cow dung from outside in the fields, on the roads, etc. But then you have a labor issue, I suppose. It's you need to spend time to collect the cow dung. So I don't know if this is a possible option because in Vietnam definitely, if you have to run a pig farm on a regular basis, that means that you need to have at least 1 or 2 sows, right? Because you will sell the piglets. If you just buy piglets to feed them and sell, no, that's never going to work. So these are all the biogas. Actually, we have many biogas systems which are not operating anymore in Vietnam, many, because the prices are not attractive. Now prices of pig feed have increased so much, so people stop feeding. Okay, so but in Rumdul situation is different because it's mainly from cows, as I understand. And the cow dung you can collect from anywhere, even if you don't have your own animals. But then the labor issue.
Yeah, we recommend for that labor issue. We recommend, or we're very careful giving our units to people who don't have animals. It's a little bit like we're giving out a loan. It's not a loan. We're not a microfinance institution. But when we give someone when we pre-finance the biodigester to someone, we need to look very carefully. Will they be able to pay back? And not having your own animals is for us a red flag. As in, I might be able to find some cow dung, manure around my house now, or some farmers come to us and say, my neighbor has cows. He promised me I can have their manure every day, so everything is fine. We don't do that because something always happens. The neighbor moves away, they sell their cows, and suddenly they have no more access to cow dungs, and they can't use the unit. So we're quite. That's why I called it, the sort of boring farmer settings. Every day
so
is the same.
how many cows?
That's a safe environment.
How many cows do you need, Nikolai? How many cows?
2 to 3. So you need 20. You need a bucket of manure every day. Yeah. So you take a bucket. That's 20 kilos. A bucket of manure, and we calculate it's 2 to 3 cows. So it's the usual setting where somebody has 2 and they're breeding another little cow, or sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 4. It's 5 to 6 pigs is the rough setting.
Okay,
You can
so,
connect. I might mention that on the. You can connect the toilet also to the biodigester. It's not running only on a toilet. You need the bacteria that comes from the animals. But if you have any households that are interested in that, we might actually be some subsidies to. We have temporarily some subsidies for toilet connected bio. That could be something we could explore with some of your farmers.
But so, if I am correct, Mit and Kosal, you please answer me. If we count on farmers who have 2 or 3 cows, are they poor group 1 or poor group 2, or not poor? What is it?
Mostly of them, if they have the cow like that, and not so poor, but sometimes they have only cow, but they don't have the land, so they still poor. So.
Okay. So then I don't know. I mean, then you may consider this in the credit program. I have no issue. I mean, whether you want to give part of the capital they need, I don't know. This you have to decide. Okay.
Bernard, yes, Bernard, Nikolai, and Bob Hong, and so
Yeah.
I'm sorry now I cannot continue until the end of our meeting. So we have to work, but I have to leave now. But I need to go to comport now. And see you next.
Thank you,
meeting.
Saheng. Bye bye.
Next time we will meet in your house.
អរគុណបង
Okay.
អរគុណ សុខសប្បាយតាមផ្លូវបង
អរគុណច្រើនបង
So excited, Templo.
Oh, well, sorry for this stuff. Yes.
សុខសប្បាយតាមផ្លូវបង
Yes. Bad. Okay. Bye.
How much time do you have, Nikolai? Because you also have.
I have to leave in. I can make 15 more minutes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Finish maybe we can finish another topic one.
So maybe just to lock up on that biogas topic. If we're meeting in our office next week, Kosal and Mit, I can show you. We have it's obviously not connected because it's in an office, but I can explain to you a little bit more. You can take a look. I can share with toilet connection topic, and if you find that's something interesting, we could try it out. But I really don't want our solution on your farmers. If you find someone who's interested, that's not need to support them much, because it's monthly installments they pay. That should be you need to find farmers who are able to do that. But we can discuss that if we meet in our office. It's easier when you see the unit. We have some pictures on the wall, so maybe we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Now we would like to move for the last topic page. Village library. So let me invite Saret to explain about our on our areas.
Okay, hello everyone. Now I want to share about village. CAO test vigorous at the community in Nongdol district. CAO support book and store for the book, and sometimes we will support the phone card to for contact to the brand and use internet for the promote the village libraries also. For the CAO, we to 2021 for the village library series, and after we just finish the evaluation libraries, and we saw that how the more for the borrow the book for the read, and and asked about the library in school, a library in school and village libraries. Big one too easy for the boroughs. They survey and interview. We saw that they say for the village library easy to borrow and easy to contact because of village libraries near the house and easy to contact because of and with friends also, and it's not strict for the library in school and strict because of some school not borrow for the book to the house for reading because of the teachers worry about the loss also, and so the student read in the school and then not borrow to read their house. And we plan we plan the next plan we want to expand more to other village, and we want to decor library and add the book more, and we want to promote libraries, and we want to make even to librarian to be a speaker to promote library to all the student want to read in the book. We plan, but now the for village is small and uh, and very small. For the book is the little bit, and we want to add the book because other we want to other student how habit to read and how the book for it in community also. Yes. Okay,
Can you
share
tell
it
us
already?
Yeah, Saret, can you tell us in one of those village libraries how many books, how many readers every month?
Total now for the reader more than 100 students for the read
In 1 month?
No, one year.
Okay, how many in 1 month?
One
How many,
total of 1 year.
in 1 month, how many people come to the library to borrow books?
For the one month depend on the month of when during COVID-19 the students stay at home, no study at school, so the student many student borrow the book for the reading, and and after the student less than before because of they busy with the study also, but now still borrow and every month.
Okay, Saret, you said 100 in 1 year. Is it 100 books or 100 people, or is it people, the same people who borrow over and over again?
What is 100 times when the same people they come to borrow the book from the store.
Okay, 100 times. And do you know how many people?
Nói chung quanh library nó chỉ mà nè là
không phải chỉ
mà ông
ai bắt cầm
mà cái à
bạn
xây bắt cầm nè
ឥឡូវប្រហែលជាឡើងដល់95នាក់ហើយបងប៉ុន្តែនេះគាត់អត់បាន note ឬអីចឹង
Okay.
តែចាប់គាត់ទេ
Because if it is the librarian borrowing 100 books in 1 year, then the
for the student borrow borrow book 90 students, but for the time book we we um, we saw in the notebook 114 times, but when the borrow the librarian is forget when we interview the reader also.
No,
And
we need the
estimate
two statistics.
more than student
We need
one time.
Saret, excuse me. We need two statistics which are very important. We need to know how many times and how many people, because if it is 2 or 3 people borrowing
Yes,
many
yes.
books, then the impact, will be less. Okay, so you need to report on the number
Yeah,
of people using the library and the number of times. Okay.
yeah.
So Red, I think you're suggesting to expand the project to other villages. But before you decide to make that decision, you need to know if it's a success or not. Is it working well or not? The numbers that Bernard was asking for, it's hard to say if it's working well. Yeah, it would be important to have these numbers to know, is it a success? Yeah.
And the three primary three village libraries. We house one library is a success, and two is the
And how do you define that success? How do you know? Why do you say it's a success?
Because of when we interview the libraries is house more students for the rich, and all the reader is lie to the book also.
Yeah.
And we saw that. Yes.
Let's try to find some numbers for that. That's important, because if you have 5 students who read 10 books, like a lot, that's probably not the impact you want to have. Yeah, so we need a bit more numbers to it's a success or not. Yeah.
Bao nhiêu ni rồiចំនួនជាជនរកចំនួនអ្នកនេះនឹងឲ្យអញ្ចឹងណាតែគាត់ដឹងតែជោគជ័យណាគាត់ឲ្យចង់ឲ្យយើងនឹងការពីអ្វីដែលយើងមកឃើញជោគជ័យហ្នឹងណាមានចំនួនអ្នកចំនួនអីចឹងណា
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Nikolai, library program. So I am joining for the evaluation this project also. I found that more people that interest when I talk to them, they mean that they have changed more than before. They always interest for the game, but right now most of them they like because after we read, they saw that need to write like the essay or easy. They have more thing to talk, and their knowledge is more better than before. And also when they do the exam in the class, now is their result is more better than before.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. One librarian is now is the top one in the class.
Good. Yeah. A quick comment on this in general on the library project. I'm a big fan of books. I love books. I don't read any books on any electronic device. I don't, but many people do, and many kids do. Yeah. So in the context finding funding and finding innovative modern topics, it's also important that we look for are there any electronic reading learning topics that are interesting for the kids. Normally the kids like electronic stuff, is there anything that's interesting for the kids and effective from a learning perspective? I'm not an expert on this, but it's important that we don't close our minds and say books are good, tell of that. Yeah, that's probably too simple. If I have my own kids, I would try to keep books, but we need to be careful, that we don't mix our own values with what
absolutely. Very good
how
point.
we read. So let's have a look at these things also.
Good point. Good point.
Yes. Bong chui sang khai để cho bong học bạn này.
So, because everyone has a time limit that maybe the report, summary report for activity in 2022, I think you can send to everyone by email together with my budget for 2022 and 2023.
Can I ask a quick question? And do you guys use Google for these? Because what I find good with these kinds of documents is that we can look at them and we comments or ask questions on the side. Is that something that works for you guys, or is it not very convenient for you?
But can you use this?
For the Google document, we will try it. I never use this, but I got a CC also how to use the Google document also.
We can look at the next Saturday also if you like. When we meet up, I can quickly show it to you, and we can that out if you want to. If you don't like it, then we don't have to do it.
To learn also.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you for time today, especially Bong Won Hong Bong. រំខានបងតិច
បាទអរគុណកសលអរគុណ
ចាហើយចាំមានការចាំបានច្រើនតិចតែតាមទូរស័ព្ទអីទៀតព្រោះថ្ងៃនេះខ្ញុំនៅក្រៅដែរអញ្ចឹងទៅបានវិចិត្រច្រើន
បាទស្វាគមន៍អត់អីទេកសល
ចា
Thanks everyone. See you next week everyone, and
yes,
and in 2 months.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye bye.
អរគុណបណ្ណា
Okay.
Bye bye.
Okay. អរគុណច្រើន Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.